Hey guys, Kenny here. I'm here to review the 1996 movie, The Quest, and I think it's now starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, Roger Moore, and James Remar. Now, I love watching this. This is another one of my favorite Van Damme movies. It has to do with Van Damme playing Christopher Dubois. Oh, and this is based on a true story. He plays Christopher Dubois, and he's this kind of a thief, I guess, and he's taking care of these little homeless. He's taking care of a group of homeless kids, and on one day when he's beating up some policemen, there are these two kids that are trying to do a steal. One kid stands outside, the other goes in and takes a bag of money, and there's this guy who, I guess, wants Chris Dubois out of his city, so they come driving into their warehouse that they're in and shoot up the place, and one of the guys ends up shooting one of the kids, and then Chris has to get out of there, and he ends up getting dropping into a boat, or dropping into a ship that he ends up kind of like becoming a prisoner of it, where he has to do work for them. And there's this kind of British guy coming with some people that work with him, and an assistant of his played by James Remar, and they save Chris from that ship, and he go and Lord Dobbs is his name, and Dobbs takes Chris to an island, and he gets trained as one of their fighters, and Dobbs and his partner go back onto their ship, and I guess they're gone for like 2 months, and while Dubois is there, he gets gets kind of beat up by one guy, and then after that he's able to defeat one of the guys. But he's told to watch his back. So that's a pretty good, funny little scene. And then Lord Dobbs and his partner meet up with this woman, Carrie Newton, and she wants to get a big story, and it's Muay Thai fighting that she becomes interested in. That's what Lord Dobbs took Chris Dubois to the island for, to be trained as a Muay Thai fighter. And then when they see Chris, all the three of them see Chris at a Muay Thai fight, Dobbs and his partner get a little, I don't want to say maybe shell-shocked, or they just become flabbergasted that they see him. And then after Chris wins that fight, they both try to get out of there before Chris can see them. And then Chris walks in front of them, and he says that we have a deal, and he wants to try and get into this tournament. Oh, he wants to steal the golden dragon from the Muay Thai big world competition that's going on. But the only way that they can get in is if Chris gets a special invitation that has a map on it, and it can't be forged, and there's an American that has it, and he's Maxie Divine, and James Remar, that's who he's played by, and he's the one who has the invitation and with the map on it that they need, but Chris can't get in because he doesn't have his own invitation, so they want to steal that golden dragon. That's what it is. And one day, Chris and Maxie have a little fight, and then Maxie gives Chris his invitation. So then he's in the tournament, and there's a bunch of countries that are involved. I can't remember all of them, but they're all brutal fights, incredibly intense to me. There's this one major guy, he's from Mongolia, that Chris ends up having kind of a vendetta against, because he ends up killing one of the Fang, one of the Muay Thai fighters that Chris ended up kind of becoming a friend of, and Fang's kind of a trainer ends up being really, really broken down and sad. And those Muay Thai fighters have these headbands or ropes around their head, and Fang had one of those, and his trainer is holding that. He keeps that with him. Then one time when Chris is in a fight, Dobbs and his partner kind of try to steal that golden dragon, but Dobbs they're in a blimp. Dobbs is in a blimp, and he kind of flies up without his partner, but then they end up being caught when some of the some guys, I think, end up shooting arrows at the blimp, and Nick falls down. So those two guys end up being arrested, Dobbs and his partner. And the price for that is death. But Chris makes a deal with the head person of the whole tournament that if he wins, Dobbs and his partner can go free, and he keeps that head person of the tournament keeps the golden dragon there. But the rest of them can go free. So the final match ends up being Chris against the Mongolian guy, and that's that's the all or nothing match. If Chris didn't win that, Dobbs and his partner would be sentenced to death, and I think Maxie would stay there on the island forever. But Chris ends up winning the whole thing, so they're all freed, and he goes back to make a good life for the kids that he was helping out. The beginning of it was also very good. Van Damme as Christopher Dubois. He has incredible old age makeup, and he has some special cup of coffee made for him with, I think it's whiskey. He has a seat at a table, and there are these 3 or 4 thugs that come in, kind of make demands at the bartender, and Chris beats up there's 3 guys, and Chris beats up 2 of them, and one of the others, and the main guy leaves. If you haven't already, I would highly appreciate it if you would subscribe over here if you're watching the video by itself, or subscribe down here if you're watching the video on my channel. Bye.